It's very simple today, really. I'm going to do the sort of topping and tail in the introduction and the closing sections, and Charlotte is going to show you 3 or 4 different Web2 applications that we've kind of spoken about and decided are the most appropriate and most simple and easy to use. But just before we kick off, I'd just like to get a little bit of background about each of you. I don't think I know, well, I know Katie obviously, but Debbie and Grania I don't think we've met. But Grania, I have at least looked at your video case studies. That's one of my parts of the project, and Charlotte and I have talked about those, so I feel I know a little bit about you, Grania. I've heard your voice. Debbie, I don't know anything at all about you, I don't think, so perhaps you could all just put a little bit in the chat panel about the organisation you work for and what you hope you might get out of today with this Web2 webinar. What we're interested in is you using some of these tools, obviously, and taking it on board into your organisational business plan is a bit grand, but you're going to use these things to make yourselves more efficient or increase your reach. I'll hesitate there because I'm going to come into that in more detail in my first part. So, could you just type a little bit in the chat panel to us all and tell us who you work for, what difference you hope your organisation will make, where you're up to with your ICT. Do you use a lot of ICT? Have you ever done Web2? Does your organisation use it to engage with sponsors, donors, customers, clients, learners? So I'm just going to pause now while you type in a brief précis. Ah, good. I was just wondering if I'd gone mad and I was the only one here. Grania, WEA, hope to get to know what's available. Oops. Now in Web2. We've got a Moodle, okay, which will go on, but nothing else. Okay, so Debbie, if you're not sure what a Moodle is, it's basically a place where you can store your learning materials. It's a bit more than that, but that'll do for now. Debbie, grow our own. Okay, we're going to do work via advice and training. We're setting people up with an email account, surfing the net, writing CVs. Yeah, I don't see set up who had little. Debbie, what do you mean by the last sentence? It's an ideal opportunity to set up who had little or no. Just explain. I don't get the last sentence. Katie, CCB, Action for All. Okay, so Debbie, also in your supplementary, if you wouldn't mind, can you just put whether you've got any Web2 experience in your organisation, not necessarily you personally, but maybe you've got someone else that does it. Oh, Debbie. So actually, all I'm asking is the last sentence. It's an ideal opportunity to set up those who had little. I didn't quite know what you meant, so if you could just put a little bit more information to tell me what that bit means. And also, if you've has anybody got any Web2 experience within your organisation? Grow your own, not necessarily you, but anybody. So, not much experience in Web2. Oh, sorry, that's me. That's what I know about, and I've been around since 1986 doing multimedia communications before the World Wide Web, and a whole range going from video disc through CDI, CD-TV, before we had DVD, before we had CDs actually. So I've been around a long time. Oh good, so Debbie is using a cable, great. I've been around a long time working out education applications of new technologies, and I used to work at Exeter University and work on national pilot projects. I've worked in the private sector with ICL alongside BT, Apple, TeleWest, NTL, finding big technological solutions to social and human problems, opportunities. How does this change the world? What I'm interested in, what I'm passionate about, is the use of ICT, particularly the internet, to help the voluntary community sector and particularly community intermediaries to help their target groups. It's a Trojan horse. I don't give a damn about technology really. What I'm interested in, it's an empowering mechanism for getting people to take more control of their lives, particularly disadvantaged, deprived, marginalised, disaffected, whatever words you want to use, people that have been left outside our divided society for economic and social reasons are now about to be divided by the digital divide. And my main customer is UK Online Centres, so I do sustainability and strategic consultancy for the national network of UK Online Centres. We need more people to feel more involved and more in control of their own futures. I don't think most of you would disagree with that, and you probably do something similar but within a different slight sphere. So that's why we're here. Web2 is a good engagement tool. I'm using a very simple definition, but the key thing is collaborate. Part of social media. You should now see a red line under collaborate. We did put the C, it used to be IT, and then we introduced the word C into ICT, and C was for communication. That was typical. I used to do presentations where we talked about communication technologies to help collaborate, cooperate, and communicate. And that's what social media has become. I'm just going to move that out of the way. I did a little bit of research prior to this presentation to see what's out there in terms of relatively recent reports. The link, you get all the links, you don't need to take notes as we go along. You'll get at the end, Charlotte will send you the presentation or make it available via the Ning or both. And the links, any web links you need are on the last screen, last frame. So I'm just going to pause while you read and we'll use the hand. So when you've read that screen, please raise your hand so I can move on. This was a CAF report. Okay, it was aimed at charities, but that doesn't really matter. And they were talking about donors. And there was a whole report, not just about ICT, but how to connect. So my job is to look at, well, why would you use Web2? I'm going to go into those in a minute. But clearly, CAF and the survey they did, people were saying we need to use very basic tools, email and simple social networking to connect with donors and clients more effectively. Yes, of course, they do.